show is called For the People. Gary, why is the show called For the People?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, the real reason for doing the show is to help the people, the public, you, navigate through the legal system and understand how it really works from the inside. After almost a half a century, actually a little bit more than a half a century of practicing law as a trial lawyer, and almost 10 years now on the Superior Court bench, I can give you, hopefully, an inside view of how it is from the trench, and that's why the book is called From the Trench to the Bench, as well as a perspective as a judge looking at the cases from the judicial side. So last week we talked about the new issues dealing with gun control. After Parkland, we all now know that we have to do something. Now, I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. Everybody should have the right to have a gun, but certain people shouldn't. And my suggestion has been that we use restraining orders to prevent people who shouldn't have guns from getting them and a lot of ammunition at the same time. It provides due process for everybody. Judges decide whether people should have the guns or not, and from that we move forward. Part of restraining orders, where I was assigned for a number of years, deals with taking guns away from people who shouldn't have them. So let me just tell you a couple of quick stories. One guy who definitely should not have had a gun, I said to him, you know, you can't have a gun. He said, but I'm a hunter. And how can I hunt without my gun? I said, well, go out and buy yourself a bow and arrow. And you've got an alternative. Ha, 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 right? But the real story is a great illustration. There was a lady that came into the court, and she showed me a video, actually the equivalent of a text, FaceTime or something like that. And the person on the other side was sitting on the floor, had a beer bottle in one hand and a gun in the other with a descriptive remark below it, which indicated that they shouldn't really have a gun. And I took that gun away, and that's what triggered me into thinking about how can we do this and protect everybody's rights. Now, if you look at the Second Amendment, it was written around 1790 by our forefathers, the framers of our Constitution, and they talked really about people being able to have guns like a militia. And they had muskets, and they used to have to push the powder into the musket and maybe get 2 shots if they got a couple of shots off at all. But the problem was nobody was thinking about AR-15s. Now we have people with guns that can mow down lots and lots of people. You can't really use an AR-15 to shoot a deer unless there are a lot of deers hanging around at the same time. The reality is we need to find some way, and if you read the chapter in my book, which is called From the Trench to the Bench, I talk about gun control or gun violence control, and that includes domestic violence as well. There's a lot of that right now. Wrong people are having the guns. So if you have any questions, contact me. It's AskJudgeHerb@gmail.com.